Well, I suppose we're all now getting pretty used to being in lockdown. We know what it feels like to have to stay in the house when we'd rather go out and see our friends. We know what it feels like to have to give up our football training or our dance classes for a while. Some of you might even be missing school. Imagine that. And of course, we're not able to be physically together in church with each other for a wee while. So we know what lockdown feels like. But we are still able to get out and go for walks. We're still able to do things like dance classes and school lessons and even church online together. And we do expect that it's not going to be too long before things get back to some kind of a normal. But you know that for some Christians, lockdown can last for a really long time. In some countries, Christians can be arrested and sent to prison just because they go to church or just because they want to tell people about Jesus. And they might have to spend 10 years or more in prison just because they follow Jesus. Now, that is a long time to be in lockdown. And the Bible tells us that we should pray for Christian prisoners like this. And I want to show you a simple activity called Prayer Chains just now that you can do with your family to help you to pray. In the letter of Ephesians in the Bible, the Apostle Paul himself was in prison, and he wrote these words to the church: "Be alert and always keep on praying for all the saints. Pray also for me, that whenever I open my mouth, words may be given me, so that I will fearlessly make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearlessly as I should." Paul calls himself an ambassador in chains for the gospel. Now, to be an ambassador just means someone who is sent. And Paul was sent by God to tell the world about Jesus. And just because he was in prison, just because he was in chains, he wasn't going to let it stop him doing that. He wanted to tell people about Jesus, and he still did that from his prison cell. He was an ambassador in chains for the gospel, and he wanted the church to pray for him. So here's the activity. Cut out some strips of paper and write a short prayer for a Christian prisoner on each strip. You might just want to pray that God will be close to them, pray that they will be able to see their family maybe, and pray that when the time is right they'll be released. And when you've written those prayers, loop the ends of the first strip together and fix them with some glue. And then thread the next strip through the first one and loop the ends of that one as well and glue them. And you keep on doing that with the other strips so that you create a chain of prayers. And then maybe you can hang it up in your house to remind you to keep on praying. And you can also download a sheet from our website to help you with that. Go to the Lockdown Church webpage at releaseinternational.org/lockdown-church. And if you scroll down to the interactive section and click on the Prayer Chains link, you can download a sheet and print it off there. And here's one particular prisoner that you can pray for as you make your prayer chains. His name is Pastor Wang Yi, and he is the leader of a big church in China. 2 years ago, he was arrested along with his wife and more than 100 other people in his church. And he was later sentenced to 9 years in prison just because the authorities didn't like the Christian work that he was doing. Look at the picture of Pastor Wang Yi. Do you notice his handcuffs? Imagine what it would be like to lose your freedom because you love Jesus. Pastor Wang Yi is in prison, but you know his handcuffs can't stop his prayers. There's another Christian prisoner in China called John Chau, and he wrote a poem which says this: "You can take away my freedom, but you can't take away my prayers. My prayers have wings, and they leap over the high wall. Many brothers and sisters have heard them." Pastor Wang Yi's chains can't stop his prayers, and they can't stop our prayers for him either.